All right. Welcome, everyone, to Computer Fundamental Fridays. This is December 6th, 2019, and today's topic involves Microsoft OneNote. And if anyone has any comments, questions, anything throughout the entirety of this, just feel free to go ahead and ask. This is all for you. Disclaimer that I have that I post in the very beginning pretty much just states that I'm not a know-it-all. If you ask a question and I don't know the answer, I'll do a little research and probably have to get back with you. But I'll do my best to answer all that I can throughout this training. So this is one, I know Lori Harmon works in a district that does not have Office 365, so can everyone on the call encourage her and her district to move towards Office 365? Anyone want to add anything?
Uh-oh, that's not good.
That's all right.
No.
Everyone's just a little shy. Well, anyway.
We're all being shy.
We've had a lot of good success with it. I've heard through the grapevine that the majority of state agencies are going to move towards it. My wife, she's a nurse at St. Thomas Midtown. Their whole hospital and associate hospitals throughout the state of Tennessee are on it, and it's pretty much just it's the way things are going. It's working rather well. There may be a few things here and there, but for the most part, it just makes sense to really utilize the cloud-based computing and cloud-based applications. What you're seeing on screen is not a cloud-based application. It's one that I have installed on my computer. But if I did not have my computer, I could be at the local library or a hotel and just go to a computer, open up a web browser, log into the portal, and have access to the exact same information. It might be a little different layout because I would be using a web browser, but I have access to everything I need from virtually wherever I'm at. It's one of the highlights of it. But today's training, this is on Microsoft OneNote, and if you read the email that I sent out, it's got some really neat highlights. In this training, I'm going to probably focus maybe 2, 3, if not the entire month, since we've kind of got a holiday coming up as well. It might not be here for a Friday, but I'm going to try to just do some basics today. I'll cover as much as we can. If you want to dive in further, we can spend however much time you want to on this. But it really helps you organize all sorts of things. It doesn't matter if you're doing checklists, pictures, links to web pages, keeping your passwords, pretty much anything that you need on a day-to-day basis. This is really an organized way to journal and keep information that you need to refer to on a regular basis. We have, if you're seeing what I have on the screen, I have access to several different notebooks. We have one for the conference. I've got one for this department. I've got one for my account. I'm going to switch real quick to our conference notebook because this is just a quick way. The nice thing about this is a way for you to store information, and instead of it being like a Word document where you've got a Word document and you've got a name and you have to open up each document to get to the information, this one really allows you to keep it in kind of a virtual notebook, so you can switch back and forth between different areas as quickly as you want to. This is a picture. You can also insert all sorts of things, whether it's PDFs, pictures, what have you. But you can see down here at the bottom left, it says Add Section. And what a section is are all of these names listed here, where you could have kind of like a general category for something. They call it a section, so that would be what it is. And then for that section, this is a page. Down below you can see the Add Page button. And it really allows you to focus in more specifically on what it is. Of course, you can delete any of the information at any time. So it's really dynamic in the way that it operates. But you can switch back and forth between different sections, pages, and get the information real quick. You can see here, this is what I've put some of our holidays, this liability information, should someone have an auto accident, damage notification. And if you have the application, say, on a smartphone, you'll have access to this information, which this is stored in the cloud. So anything that someone else who also has, so anyone who's part of the conference has access to this, if they update something in real time, as long as you have access to it, you'll be able to get that information. So it's real handy. Say if someone had an auto accident and they needed to know what telephone number to call to report the damage, they could just easily open up the app, go directly there, and you really don't have to have so many things. It's kind of like a one-stop shop in a way. So you can see pictures, all sorts of things. Let me go back to our department. And I'm just going to go through some of the tabs and kind of give you some highlights, and then we'll go through more specifics after we do that. So I'm just going to, for today, I'm going to add a page. You can click in here, but normally you're going to name the page right here up where the blinking cursor is at. We'll just call this December 6th. Press Enter. And I'm sure most of you all are familiar with Microsoft Word and or formatting of text and the ways that you can do certain things. Pretty much gives you the same option. Now, if your version of OneNote looks a little different, I actually updated my computer, and I have I think they're trying to condense everything, since there is the push towards Office 365. The prior version to this was a lot more, I should say, robust, whereas this one's pretty simplified. And I haven't put the other one that really allows additional things on it. I think that this is the 2016 version, or that might have been what I had. I think this is this version, but it doesn't really give you a whole lot of details about that. So yours may look a little different, but it functions in the same way, and you can stick your tabs up top and whatnot. But with here, of course, you can begin to type text, do anything that you want to. Add the information. Of course, you can then change the font size, make it a bullet. Over here to the upper right-hand side, you could define an actual style for it, or if you wanted to make a specific heading, and it automatically applies the size and the look to it, it will perform that whenever you click on it. Some of this other stuff, just kind of basic highlighting, formatting. If you have a bulleted list that you're wanting to create, certainly click on that. And down below, if you want to do a numbered list, just pretty much some of the basics, alignment for the paragraph and whatnot. And then if you were wanting to make something like a checklist, this is where, or a to-do list, this would be where you'd want to include that. It has tagged this note, but if you click on the drop-down, you'll be able to see the tags that you can perform within this page. But you could make a to-do, say, fill out report. Let me increase the text size.
A little, just keep going and I'll figure it out.
Checklist and what have you. So as you go through this, if you wanted to do that, all you have to do is click in on one of the boxes. If you didn't actually complete it, click it again. It would uncheck it. It's pretty much just the checklist. It's kind of tab 1 for home. You'll see this. I was playing around with this earlier. I'll go ahead and do it. But you can, and it looks like it works fairly well. I didn't speak very fast, but you can, if you wanted to create a note and use your voice to record and dictate it, it will certainly allow you to do that. So let me go ahead and click. All right, here we go. Let's see how well you perform. Period. And as you go through this, you will probably need to punctuate and hit enter on your keyboard. Okay, I'm going to stop that. It actually did better that time. I think the first time, you can see that there's a text box around this. What I had last time was it expanded way on out, and I only wanted it to be at certain areas here. It looks like it worked pretty well. I only wanted to go a certain distance, and then at the end of it, I would hit enter on the keyboard, and I noticed if you say comma, instead of it writing that out, it does punctuate it. So it looks like it's working rather well. I don't really know how quick you could really talk and complete things versus typing. Kind of depends on how quick you are at typing, but something kind of neat with it. The next tab we have is Insert, and this gives you a lot of options. We'll start off with the first one. We can go for a table. So if we click on Table, you want to definitely select the amount that you need first off, if at all possible. So if I select those, and then if I click on the table button again, it will actually insert that table inside of this table. So if I do another one there, you can see it inserted 3 tables inside that first individual row and column. So it's kind of interesting. But if you ever want to, say if you get to the end of one, if you press enter on your keyboard, it will automatically add the row. If you need to, let me just resize this. This would be good just for a variety of things that you have related. Just say like name, date, time, etc. And let's say we wanted to adjust the alignment on that. Just highlight all of those and then right click, and then you'll see some of the options that you can perform with it. So here you can see the font size. Let's say if we wanted a background color, we could go ahead and apply that. I think I need to go back to the home button in order to align this text. So if I wanted that in the middle, it'll give us some options there. So pretty handy. I just wait for you to grab that information. Store it, keep it, and also share it. So the nice thing also with this is you can share it with anyone you want to. If we go back to Insert, that kind of covers the table, and really all you have to do is just play around with it. If there's anything that you want to add to it, just right-click on it. You can see it keeps store of the time that the table was created. Up top you'll see the time that the page was created. It gives you a good idea of when it was last created and or modified. The rest of that's pretty basic stuff. Let's enter a picture. I really like how it handles this, and this would be great. I mean, especially if someone does like recipes or something of that nature, because you can really have this page. Enter a picture, click on the Pictures button, go from File, we'll just take this video stamp, and whatever picture you have, just click on it, and it allows you to adjust the size of it, making it all coherent, visually appealing. Pretty neat. Online video, that would allow you to insert a web address. So let me do that real quick. Let's see if I can go out to our page, and I will just, for the sake of time, just paste that. press enter. Whoops, it actually needs,
Maybe it's not. Okay.
it's the web address, but that's not the actual video. So let me get to the video.
Because you guys were like calling at the same time, so I'm like, is this the same? But probably a different situation.
Press that. So then right here, so it of course doesn't put the video here. It embeds the web link so that you can go back and refer to it, but you can play it directly from inside OneNote. I know you can't hear the audio over it, but it's kind of neat that you can do that all right from within the application and not have to actually open your browser and go to it. All right. Any questions about anything up to this point?
You talk about you can share it with other people. So can anybody see it, or can you make it private, or what?
It's private until you share it, and the way that it shares is it's not individual pages. It is an actual notebook. So
Okay.
you can see here I'm in the tech training department. This is a notebook. If I click on the share button up here, I'm not able to zoom with this application that I'm using right now, but you can see here from the share you are given options with this, and this would be where you probably want to make some adjustments because you never really want to keep anyone with the link can edit, because it means anyone who receives the email and whoever they forward it to, they'll be able to modify it, delete it, do whatever they want to. So you probably want to always change that. But yeah, you can, if you do share it, it is the full notebook. So everything, all of the sections that I have in this notebook, this would give access to the person who I decide to share it with. So in this case, I'd want to probably put people in my organization. If it's people outside the organization or your district, you'd want to click specific people. Allow editing gives them the ability to delete, so you may want to uncheck that. And then if you only want to allow them to view the information and block downloading, you could slide that over. That'd be fine. But usually that for this application, that really would not apply. That would primarily be for Word documents or PDFs or video files or something that you may have in what's called OneDrive. That pretty much would, yeah.
If you hit specific people, is that going to be only the people you list?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way that it works.
Does it have to be outside of your agency, or can it be within your agency?
It can, whoever you want to.
Okay.
And the way that it works, I don't have a reference. I should keep an email that I get. Let me apply that. But what it does is you enter a name or an email address. If they're in our directory, then their name will automatically populate. So you'd have that. If you type in an email address, it can be to anyone. Yahoo address, doesn't matter. What it will do is send the link to your recipient. Once they receive that email stating that you shared a file, in this case it would be a notebook, with them, they'll click on the button. It will open up their web browser. It will ask them to type in their email address. After they do that, it will then send them an email to that email address that they put in. And in that email is a verification code, and they have 15 minutes, unless Microsoft changed it, but it's 15 minutes to enter that code in order to access that. And then after they do that, they are pretty much good to go. They won't have to do it again unless they clear out their cookies or delete any of their temp files or anything like that. But yeah, specific people, it can be people inside the conference office, in any district office, part of our organization.
Okay,
Does
great.
not matter. So yeah, sharing certainly very good, but yeah, once again, that does the whole notebook. So if you're only going to share just a few pages with someone, it's definitely beneficial, especially really you would want to do that if you're going to collaborate with someone and you only want that one place to store the information and to go back to reference and whatnot.
Okay.
All right, very good. It's online video. We did that. Link, pretty much what you see here. Welcome to our channel. Any web link. Pretty sure most everyone's familiar with doing that. The audio, this is pretty cool. It will record as long as you have a microphone on or not attached to, but as long as the microphone is part of the hardware of the device that you are on, it will automatically record it. So if I click on that, this is a recording. I am recording what is happening. We stop it. You can see right here, if I click on it, it's an audio file, and I could play it. Sorry, I don't have the system audio hooked up or connected, but it will actually play that. Let me make sure. Yeah, it did record. I don't have a way to really maximize the audio through my headphones that it recorded on, but if you wanted to maybe set a reminder or something of that nature, you could certainly do that. Also, a lot of times in any of these options, if you ever see the little 3-dot launcher called See More in this case, give you some options as to what you can do with it. And in this version of OneNote, where you do have that little arrow or the radial, you want to click on it, and then any option available there it should show and be available to you. All right. Let's see, audio. Go back to insert. Meeting details. This is pretty cool. If you are, say, on the phone and you want to keep meeting details, it will kind of pretty much, it's not going to type things for you, but it will start off that meeting where, let's say, Computer Fundamental Fridays. You can see up top here that it created the link to an Outlook item, created the actual meeting date, some of the other things. If it were applied to my Outlook event, or Outlook calendar event, kind of creates that heading. So all you have to do is just begin to type and transcribe, begin whatever you want to keep on there. That pretty much covers that one. Some of these other symbols, just common symbols that if you wanted to insert, you could easily do that. Math, it actually gives you some abilities to create math equations, etc. Stickers, this one was pretty cool. There was one that you can click on, and then right here where it has the caption, you can say, type that in, click done, make it a little larger, apply it right there. Pretty nifty, all right from within that. Whoops, did it again, sorry. All right, that kind of covers a little bit of the insert. And now we're getting into the draw tab. This is pretty cool. This is where, and you don't even have to have a tablet as long as you have this application and your mouse. Say we had some text that we wanted to highlight inside the draw tab. I'll point out this little button here. But say if we had an area that we wanted to highlight, something of priority or importance, just click on the pen. You can adjust the size of it as well. So if you click on that, you'll see the options that are available for you. So you could decrease the thickness, which is this row here, or increase it. Change the color, make more colors. You could also delete. But once we have that selected, all you have to do is just go through, highlight it, right to left, whichever way you go, and it does a real good job of following exactly where you put that. If you are using this, as long as that tool is enabled, say if you needed to add more text to this, you would definitely want to click away from that. And that's what this button here is called, Select Objects or Type Text. Because if you went ahead and tried to add to the checklist, it's going to create that highlight. So we'll get rid of that. You want to go back to this button to type text. And then you could begin again back there in that text area. And you also will notice that as I pressed enter, the highlight area did not move with the text. So it is static unless you physically move it. So you would need to move and drop that down the page as you go. All right, shapes, of course. Add and insert any of those, draw them. It does apply the current formatting on that. You could, of course, change that, but it does apply. Ink to shape, math. Click on view. This was another, I thought this was neat because it kind of gave you, let's add a page. And this kind of allows you for this individual page, it will allow you to insert something like a notebook. So we could go ahead, you could do page color or the notebook. I thought it was kind of neat, kind of like old school days or something of that nature. You can make it bigger. The lines, though, you'll notice that the spacing here, it will not, like say as I type, etc., you can see the box here. It will do its best to expand to the size that you need it to be, but if you need it to be a lot longer, or if you even need to move and drag it around, especially if you have, like say say if we had a picture, we'll insert the same one. I guess I got rid of my text, so let me just click on that. So if you had a picture and to the right of it you wanted the caption or something of that nature, you could easily type that in, apply that, adjust the sizing of the box or of the text box that you want it, move it around anywhere you want. Maybe if you had a map, you could write on it, point to where you're going, what location you're going to go to, and then over to the right, maybe have some facts or something about the location that you're at. And there was another one, Immersive Reader. This was kind of cool. I'm not sure which one I have. Like say this text here, this would be okay. If you click on Immersive Reader, what this will do, not sure how helpful it really is, but it will actually read the page to you. Once again, I'm sorry I don't have system audio connected, but if I click on that, it will maximize down below. You may not be able to see that. Let me see if I can. Okay, there we go. So down here is clicking on the play button. What it will do is the application will go through and read pretty much each word. Some of the tonalities and whatnot, sound pretty much computer generated, but for the most part it works pretty well, especially if you had a note, something even that you inserted. Let me go ahead and pause this because you can certainly insert PDFs. So if I go back here, say December 7, And if you had a PDF that you wanted to use that with, you could just quickly insert file, let's say desktop, and if I wanted to insert a PDF, this would just be, I'd want to insert this PDF not only to go back and refer back to it, but if I wanted it to be read to me, maybe if I had like notes or class notes or something like that that I wanted to for it to read, you would want to select Insert as Printout. Otherwise, it will be an attachment that you'll have to open and won't be the same. So Insert as Layout, and then here you see that it inserted that PDF, put it right there on the page for me. If you did the attachment, it would put this on there like you see. You can delete that if you want. You can move this around, move that however you want to. And then if you went back up to the Immersive Reader, it would, let's actually check it. Caption. I take that back. I hadn't tried that. So I guess PDFs, it does not render that. So that's fine. So you would probably need to copy the text from the PDF and place it directly into OneNote in order for that to relay that Immersive Reader option back to you or in order to read that back to you. And then also, I guess finally in this training, there's also underneath the Help tab, you have the Show Training. Now I saw some of this, good portion of it, kind of your basic training. Some of them maybe only 3 to 5 minutes long or so, or some of them not even that. This one here, you can see 52 seconds. But at least it is a quick option for you. You can go and if you need a little help with something. Looks like it does give you a few options, 1:41, and just maybe some added things, as well as any new items. That would be one thing you probably also want to check out with any update that applies to the application. Just click on what's new, and you'll be able to see right off what's new with the application. Dark mode, improved printouts, give you an idea of exactly what's newly developed and available within the application. So I hope that helps. I think we went through the tabs. I actually went through a little more than I thought that I would, but kind of hope you can see it's pretty basic application, but it allows you to do really quite a bit, and the whole goal is to keep information available to you so you don't have to try to remember, keep it organized, gives you a quick way to access it and utilize it, and make it available, of course, to you from anywhere you are. All right. Any questions about anything we've covered today?
No. No, my end.
All right. Well, Lori, I hope if I'll send you an email. We really want to get everyone on Office 365. We're probably going to try to shoot for a deadline. I don't know specifically when, but I know in 2020 we're probably going to have to for security purposes. But I'll converse with you about that at a later time.
Okay.
But, okay, well, very good. Well, that is all that I have. I want to thank everyone for attending today, and I may go ahead. We have this recorded, so I'm not sure if I'll do the same training next week or if we'll go into something else. But if anyone has any comments, questions, concerns, or anything, feel free to email me, and we'll take it up either next Friday or individually. And we'll figure out what we got to do, make things a little more efficient. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I will see you another time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.